Thank you. Any further debate? Honorable Member for Kamfinso.
I thank you once again, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to make a few more comments on the mining sector and the proposal that has been made to change the law. There's a proposal that has been made to the Mines and Minerals Development Act of 2015 to effectively provide incentives. What I've learned over the couple of months I've been here is that sometimes the way we debate here does not provide the public with the right understanding, because sometimes the terms are very technical. So it is always important that as we debate, we try to simplify for the benefit of the people out there. Effectively, what this proposal is saying is that we are going to give an incentive to those players who want to invest in the mining sector. I paid a lot of attention to the acting chair of the committee. I know he's running away from the observations of the witnesses who appeared. Madam Speaker, the witnesses are basically saying, one, there is no evidence that if you give incentives to the sector, production will go up. That is what the witnesses are saying. And I happen to have watched all the witnesses appear. There was no witness who said, if you give the mining sector these incentives, there will be so much money that will come into the sector. That is what has been read by the acting chair. The acting chair has also said, I was paying very particular attention, that there are global events where the Zambian government has no control over. Essentially saying, even if you give them these incentives, something else might happen that will prevent the sector from producing so much copper. The acting chair is also saying that the mineral value chain monitoring mechanism are not yet in place. We don't know, as the Zambian government, whether they are producing enough copper, whether there is enough copper going into the concentrator, and whether there is enough copper going into the smelter. Thus, those mechanisms are not in place. That is what the acting chair is saying. Now, Madam Speaker, if that is what the acting chair is saying, my considered view is that we do not have any research that has proved that even if we moved in this direction, come 2023, Madam Speaker, the copper production will exceed 1 million tons. We are producing just about 800,000 tons per annum. So even if we take these steps, what the committee is telling us from the submissions by the witnesses is that even if we take these steps, Madam Speaker, the copper production will not go up. There's no guarantee. So as I stand here, Madam Speaker, I know that for many years we've all complained. We were complaining, and I think our colleagues are complaining, that we are not maximizing benefits from the sector. The Minister of Finance came here during the budget speech, and I do recall very clearly the minister saying, and I quote, the tax measure to amend the Mines and Minerals Development Act will result in revenue loss of 2.8 billion kwacha. That's what the minister said here. And during the submissions by the witnesses that were called to the committee, they also re-echoed what the minister said here, that the Zambian government is going to lose 2.8 billion kwacha. Now, Madam Speaker, what is 2.8 billion kwacha in dollars? 2.8 billion dollars, the 2.8 billion kwacha in dollars is $160 million per annum. Meaning, in the year 2023, we will not claim that income. In the year 2024, again, we will not claim $160 million. Now, Madam Speaker, I know here because of the issue of numbers, what I'm saying may not be taken on board, but I want to say it. That why should we lose 2.8 billion kwacha when we can keep the mineral royalty tax system the way it is? Because the proposal is that we need to use the incremental formula. That is what the Act is saying. Now, if we use the incremental formula, as opposed, Madam Speaker, to the formula we are using today, we are basically saying Let's keep our 2.8 billion. We don't know even if we give them this incentive that they'll produce more copper. So my considered view, Madam Speaker, as I comment on this matter, is that the committee did a very good job. I want to commend Senior Member of Parliament, Honorable Mubika Mubika, and your team for not hiding the facts. You have brought the facts to this House, and we saw the facts as they were presented. Even if we give them the incentives, Madam Speaker, we are not going to get the productivity that we are predicting. So for me, as a Member of Parliament from Kamfinsa, I'm reluctant to support this amendment. I would rather we keep this provision in the law the way it is sitting. We call the mining investors and tell them, show to us that the other incentives we've given you, because we've been giving incentives. This is not the first incentive we are going to give them. So I would rather we keep the law the way it is sitting. And once again, Madam Speaker, this has nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with numbers. The incentive will not give us productivity. Let's keep our 2.8 billion kwacha, because if we keep our 2.8 billion kwacha, Madam Speaker, we have money to give ZRA. ZRA will have enough money as taxes to bring into the other social sectors that require our funding. So, Madam Speaker, I do not support the proposed amendment. We are losing 2.8 billion kwacha. There's no evidence that even if we give them the incentive, we are going to get the right productivity levels. I thank you.